Hare Krishna, Namaste. Chapter 4, which is entitled as Jnana Yoga, Sloka 18. Karmaṇy paśyed, akarmaṇi sa buddhimān manuṣyeṣu, sa yuktaḥ kṛtsna-karma-kṛt. The meaning of this that we've been saying, one who sees in action, and action in inaction is intelligent among men, and he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. So we have learnt about how karma is seen as akarma and akarma as karma. In other words, actions in knowledge and knowledge in action. Here, karma stands for activities or action, and the karma means, akarma means that which is different from karma. So, which means here, akarma stands for knowledge. While engaged in action, he sees inaction in it. That is, I am not the doer. And when doing action, that is, when not doing an action, sitting, sleeping, he knows he is still engaged in action. And such a person is greatly intelligent among men. And he is the one who attained the perfect knowledge. And that person can attain liberation. So these are some of the things that we saw. There's another important viewpoint that we need to understand is akarmaṇi karma, which means inaction in action. Karmaṇi akarma paśyed, action in inaction. These two sentences, we have to see that. So, inaction in action here refers to devotional service or activities performed only for the pleasure of Krishna. That Krishna's devotees receives no material reaction for their services because they act for Krishna. They don't expect or seek any reward for their work. Therefore, they're doing something, but there's no expectation or there's no any material reaction. Therefore, such activities is inaction in action. Karmaṇi. One can see such actions to be a akarma. Even though he is engaged, is not going to get a reaction, but he is engaged in the Krishna consciousness. Therefore, that activity is called akarma. Okay. Now, action in inaction, which is opposite of what we just saw. Say, a sannyasi without proper transcendental knowledge of Krishna may appear isolated, inactive, not performing any work. But as a soul, he cannot avoid the activities. So, devoid of such knowledge about Krishna, he must still act. But since he's not acting on Krishna, is not acting in Krishna consciousness, for he has no knowledge of Krishna, therefore is liable for the reaction. So, point is, he may be still not doing any activities. Even though he's not doing activities, but he's breathing, he's sitting, he still have to eat, he still have to walk. But all these activities have no connection to Krishna. If there is no any connection to Krishna, then till is not going to get a transcendental knowledge, because he is lacking of the transcendental knowledge. Therefore, such things becomes action in inaction. Even though it's not doing action, those things becomes action, which means a reaction will be coming upon this person. So this is another important aspect of how we have to see this sloka. We have seen different viewpoint of this beautiful sloka so far. Also, in the previous part, we saw few objections on how we can see action in inaction and inaction in action. And we address those objections as well. Today, we will see some interesting points mentioned by acharyas, how we can see how the karma can become akarma or vikarma. Same way, akarma can change into karma or vikarma, or the vikarma can turn into karma or akarma. So, we have to be very clear what is karma, what is vikarma, what is akarma, so we can understand these things. Again, just a note, as we are referring to few commentaries, we may see variation in the meaning of certain terms, but we just take the message and essence out of it to understand the deeper inner meaning of what is being presented in different angles. These different angles will certainly strengthen our understanding of Gita, and also our appreciation increases toward Gita. It is no way going to shouldn't create confusion. On this. So let's see. Let's see one at a time. The first thing we'll see is karma becomes akarma. So how can a karma can become akarma? One thing we saw is how when an action is done in Krishna consciousness, the action is still be performed. The person is walking, the person is talking, the person is doing everything, but is not going to get a reaction for his action. Therefore, in that way, the karma can become akarma, as if not doing, but not doing in a sense, doing an action, but not getting a reaction for that action is doing. Therefore, that such action is called as akarma. That's one way we can see how karma can become akarma. Now, if we take akarma, the meaning of akarma to be not an action at all, literally not an action at all. In that angle, if we see, for example, actions like charity is gifting in charity. When giving of charity is done without a genuine or serious intention, and that action of giving charity now becomes akarma, is as good as not doing charity. Such action done without faith or done untimely will not fructify. Ashraddhaya hutam datam. Krishna will later in 17th chapter will say, anything done as charity without faith is impermanent. It is called asat and is useless both in this life and the next. Say for example, I gave a gift to someone on their birthday. The reason I gave a gift to someone on their birthday because I see everyone is giving. Therefore, I should also give. If that is the intention why I am giving the gift to someone, then that action can be considered as good as no action, as good as not giving the gift. Therefore, it is the action, in this case the action becomes inaction, that is karma becomes akarma. So that's number one. Number two, karma can become vikarma. What we saw is karma becoming akarma. Now we'll see karma can become vikarma. Now, giving in charity and other such good activities, when such activities are performed egoistically, then that activity or that karma becomes vikarma, a contrary action. When we do action in this manner, it does not please Krishna, rather it only produces dissatisfaction to Krishna. So when performed without faith, with this mentality, it does not bear any fruit. For example, if I think because of my contribution, either it is financial or physical or anything it could be, if I start thinking that this community, this temple, this whatever it may be, is flourishing or doing good, well, because of my cause, I am the cause of all these good things that's happening, because of my charity. When such action is undertaken egoistically, not only there is no fruit, but also contrary sequences flow for me in that consciousness. So this is a very important point that we should understand. When that action, the karma done in this manner, it becomes contrary action, which is vikarma. That's number 2. kṛtsna-karma-kṛt paśyed akarma-karmayah sa buddhimān manuṣyeṣu sa yuktaḥ kṛtsna-karma-kṛt. Namaste. Hare Krishna.